Today we're creating some fresh spring and summer decor ideas. Keep watching. I'm Brandy, and this is Making It My Own DIYs. Welcome. The first is a bright centerpiece. We're going to start off with one of these little containers from the Dollar Tree. I've got some of these little picks. I don't know if this is goldenrod or what it is. Any type of little bright picks you want is fine. I'm going to use a floral foam piece. Mine happens to be tapered, but it doesn't matter. Some lemons. I got mine from TEMU. Get yours wherever you want. You can get them pretty much anywhere this time of year, I think. And then these beautiful cosmos that I got from the Dollar Tree. I have 2 bunches of these. So we're going to take off the label. Now you can do this any way you want. I just like to add a little bit of heat because it makes the adhesive let go on the back and you can easily peel it off. You don't want to get any source of heat too close to it because this is a plastic bowl and you don't want to ruin your piece before you even get started. Look how nice that just, love it. Yes. Now wash it and dry it. You want a nice clean, non-sticky, non-smeared surface so you get a high-end look. Once it's dry, you can go ahead and put the foam in the middle. The foam is going to do 2 things. It's going to hold our lemons in place, and it is also going to be what we use to put our floral piece together. I'm using some double stick mounting tape on the bottom. Press it down, and that way I don't have to use glue and I won't melt my foam piece. And look how nicely that holds. Perfect. If you're new to my channel, I would like to welcome you right now and say a big hello and thank you for stopping by. I love it when you come to my channel and leave me sweet comments and support me and help my channel to grow. It is very much appreciated. If you're here for the first time, I would love it if you would subscribe and join our happy little family in the comments section. You'll find that these folks are very creative and welcoming here. Okay, so the reason I'm putting the cotton rounds on here is because, for one thing, it sticks easily. You don't have to glue or anything. It's the right size to go on my foam piece, and it covers up the green. So if you'll notice, these little lemon pieces are clear, or they're, you can see through them. So it's important to me to not see the green. It's going to make them look more like limes, right? And I want this to be the bright centerpiece, so we're going to make sure that that yellow really pops, that you can see that through there, and it looks more realistic. And if you put the white behind it, it really makes it pop. Now I am overlapping these pieces slightly, pushing one corner up against the wall, the outer wall of the container, and then one piece, the other side of it, I press against the round. Just a little bit of glue on the bottom holds this in place with no problem at all. Whatever pattern you like, if you want them side by side, you can do it that way. But I just like the idea of making them overlap slightly, like they're stacked in there, just because it's a little bit different than what you would normally expect to see in a piece. And I like for us to make it our own on this channel. You see me doing wacky stuff all the time. And I do that because, for one thing, when you're crafting, you don't need permission, right? It's whatever brings you some joy. Okay. Now, if you'll lay your pieces out first and just kind of do a dry run with them, you'll see how many you'll need to fit into your container. And I did that without having to, I didn't want to show you all of that. So they're dried, glued down, safe in there. And I decided I want to put something in the bottom, and I want it to look like ice or something cool and refreshing, right? And I thought, well, I've got these little silicone packs, and I know that the little silica pieces are clear and they look like ice. So I thought, well, why don't I just use those? I thrifted them. I have them already. Just use those. No sense to stop the project to have to go to Dollar Tree and get something. Now, if you want to use the little clear pieces or the little rhinestones in the bottom, if you want to use some type of a the little colored crushed rock you can get at Dollar Tree, you can do that too. To do it whichever way you like. And if you don't want to put anything in the bottom, you don't have to do that either. I just thought it would be a cool look. So I'm going to pull these picks apart. Be sure, just a little tip for you, if you're shopping at Dollar Tree or any place really for artificial greenery, make sure that all the pieces that are supposed to be there are there. sometimes you can go to the Dollar Tree and maybe 2 flowers have fallen off the bundle. Well, you paid for all 5 of them, so you want all 5, right? Just for instance. So just be sure that you count the tops of each of your stems to make sure that you're getting a full piece when you buy your bundles. Now I'm going to cut all these off and cut these into manageable pieces. I'm going to make this a very easy arrangement that anybody can follow. Okay, so if you're a beginner, do not be intimidated by this one bit. We're going to do north, south, east, and west, or 12, 6, 3 and 9, whatever you want to, however you want to think about that. As that's how we're going to start around the edges. Then we're going to move in just a bit more forward and put another square in there. 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm laying these at an angle so that they are not standing straight up. I want my piece to be round and a little bit mounded on top as an end result. The next row I'm going to do, they'll be standing at a higher angle, almost standing up completely straight. It's going to look like a really bad hair day in a minute, y'all. It's going to look like a really bad hair day. Okay, so you see that? It's all splayed out there. It's going every which way. Now, when you cut your flowers off of your picks, be sure that you leave them in different levels. You know, have some of the stems are a little bit longer. The flowers, you know, naturally when they put them on there, some are shorter, some are longer. Just go with that. It will help you when you do your arranging. I want my highest piece, or the one with the longest stem, to go right in the center, because that's going to be the height. And then I'm going to do 4 around that in the same pattern that we did when we put down the goldenrod. And you're going to continue around in the same pattern of 4 with your angles going upward, just like we did with the greenery. Do you understand what I'm saying? It's very easy to do. Very simple and balanced looking arrangement. Now, another tip I can give you if you're using faux greenery is that with the flowers, the flowers, a lot of times they will be 2 or 3 little sections, and they'll be stacked right on top of one another. And all you have to do is twist them. They're just sitting on a plastic piece that sits on the top of that metal or that wire piece there. And all you have to do is just twist it, and then you'll get a good representation of the entire flower. And I'll show you how to do that. You see how it just looks like 4 petals? You're just going to twist it. That opens the petals up, and it really makes the flower look so much more full, and it's just a prettier flower. It wasn't that easy. So simple. Always check your arrangements, just like you check your wreaths and everything else. I'll tell you, be sure that you turn it, look at it from all angles. If you see any places that need to be adjusted, or if you need to add or take away, it's the perfect time to do that. So here we are in my little breakfast nook, and I've just plopped it down on the table in my workspace to show you what this looks like in the sun. And do you see what I mean by the white in the background? Otherwise, it would look green like the foam, right? I think it's very bright and cheery and so simple to make, and it's great for a small space. So the lemon wreath is going to be the next one. This is really cute. We're going to go with some more of the same pieces here. I've got some ribbons that I got from Dollar Tree, and they're just 2 different kinds. Some things I get out that I may or may not use, you know. This is a wired ribbon, and these are some more of those greenery pieces, bright and yellow. This is a wreath form that I have. I got this one when I was thrifting, but just to give you an idea, it's 12 inches. You can use the wreaths that you get at Dollar Tree, the metal forms if you would like. This is very simple. Now, I've done wreaths like this before, and I've shown you how to do this. Because I don't want the wire to show underneath, y'all, I'm going to wrap this around, and I'm going to overlap it. So this is a 2-inch ribbon. well, maybe 1.5 inches, and I'm going to wrap it halfway over on itself, if that makes sense, because I don't want the wire to show underneath. If you used a solid ribbon, solid colored, that was more with a tighter weave and you couldn't see the metal underneath, you wouldn't have to use quite as much ribbon. So that's going to be completely up to you how you do this. Now this ribbon came from Amazon in a 3-pack. If I can find the link and you would like to have it, I will share that with you. It has been a while. It's been in my stash a while. But just any ribbon that you like, you know, with a lemon or oranges, or if you like limes better, you can do lime. If you like lemon, do lemon, oranges, you know. You could even do this with strawberries or whatever you like. So once we get complete, we're going to flip it over, trim it off, add a little bit of glue, and then press it down. Do not burn your fingers. Put on your protectors if you need, or use a spatula or something to press it down. Now we can start playing with it and putting some cute stuff on it. So we're going to take our pieces apart. I just like to use my wire cutters to do this. Some people like to use scissors or kitchen scissors. Totally up to you. Just looking at that goldenrod is making my allergies go nuts. Okay, yes. So we're going to make this very simple. This little greenery piece that we're going to put on top, we're going to make it really simple, and we're just going to put half on one side, half on the other side. Just counting, there'll be 5 on one side, 5 on the other side. Now it's even. So I like to try to put the longest piece toward the back and then stack the other pieces on top. So I'm just trying to get an idea of which one is the longest or the fullest piece. It will go to the back and the shorter ones will go to the front. I'm going to overlap it like this. Needs to be about 1 inch. And I want to make sure that it's going to fit the top without kind of, you know, overdoing it. I don't want it to be too thick or too heavy for the top of this one. I'm just fluffing a little to make sure this is what I like and that there's enough here. Some baby's breath would be really cute in here as well. I did not have any. I did not find any at Dollar Tree this year, so I don't know. Don't know. Where's all the baby's breath? Are y'all finding any this year? I'm just going to use a zip tie to attach these two. Now they're overlapped, so they're easy to attach together. You can also use a little bit of hot glue on one of those craft sticks if you needed to, if your pieces aren't long enough. Tighten that down, and then you can just clip off that excess. And I think this is going to work great with the colors that are in that ribbon. So then you just choose what part you want to be the top. Of course, you want to put the end of your ribbon toward the back, so the front pretty much looks uniform. And then I want to make a very simple bow with the same ribbon. I'm just going to cross it over on itself. Measurements, who knows? I'm going by the size of my wreath. You just do what feels right for the size of your wreath, and this to me works. If I had to guess, I would say that that's probably 18 inches or close to that. Maybe even longer. You know, I don't do the math. I told y'all that before. I don't do the math. Okay, so gonna take another zip tie, and I'm going to do that right around the center of this simple little bow. And if you want to use jute, if you want to use floral wire, if you want to use a piece of string or some baker's twine, whatever you want to use for your pieces is absolutely fine. Just use what you have. No reason for us to stop crafting once we get it going, right? We get in the flow, we just start going with that creative juice, and we just want to keep going. We don't want to stop. I could glue this piece on. Totally would be fine, but I'm going to go ahead and just use a zip tie. I don't want to burn my fingers, and this has no dry time. Be sure you cut down your pieces low enough that it's not going to scratch your door if you're going to put it on the door or on your wall. So I'm going to make sure it's nice and flat. You can also cover that with some fabric or put the end of it in the front because the bow will cover that. I like my bow right in the middle. I think that's cute. So I'm going to cut a piece that's about that's probably 7 or 8 inches long. I'm going to fold it in thirds, and it's going to go right in the middle and all the way around the wreath. That is more security for the bow. It's going to combine the bow, obviously, with the greenery and the wreath, and it's going to make everything nice and secure. Now, this will also cover up the zip ties if you use those so that you don't have anything scratching up your door. Always flip your bow, make it nice and pretty. And then you can either cut a dovetail like I'm going to from the wire toward the center, fold it from the wire toward the center, upward, and that's called a dovetail, or you can cut it at a slant, totally up to you. I find that trimming it gives it more of a finished look, and it also keeps it from fraying so much. If you want to bend your ribbon, that's what the wire's there for. You can give it a little motion, give it a little crinkle like I just did, or you can leave it flat. Totally up to you. I say that a lot, don't I? Totally up to you. Then I'll grab some of my lemons and start tucking those around in the greenery and on the wreath. I told y'all before, I am very capable of doing simple crafts and just getting in there, getting it done, and getting out. But that is not my style. I just go with it. I just keep going. If I look at it and I feel like it needs more, I put more in there. I use my gut, y'all. I use my gut, and I encourage you to do the same thing because we don't have to be copycats to something somebody else does, right? We need to find our own joy. We need to have confidence in ourselves, and we need to do what feels right to us. Start learning to trust your ability to make good decisions for you. Just a little pep talk because you know I love you. Okay, so then I decided let's do a little something on the bottom. You don't have to do this. Again, not necessary. See how I tucked that right in that ribbon? I just did it because it was convenient. But you can always glue on top. It's going to be secured down with another piece anyway. You could always use a zip tie here or another piece of ribbon to secure it. I'm going to plunk my little lemon slice right down on there. And this time I don't really mind that it is not white underneath and that you can see the greenery because it's different. It's different, right? Now you can see what it would look like if you do your first arrangement and you don't use anything in the back. Give you an idea. Now, this is like a 6-inch piece that I dovetailed both ends on, and then because I had a different idea for this, but I didn't want to waste it. So I cut that in half. I'm just going to pinch it up, and I thought, let's just tuck that around our lemons. This is going to give us a little more width on the top of the wreath, give it a little more bulk, give it a little more substance, and again, just a little more something that's kind of unexpected. Same thing on the other side. Just tucking it under there. Now, feel free to do this first. You know, a lot of times I do things on the channel, I craft, and I don't do them in the order that is convenient to most folks because I don't realize it until it's an after fact, and then I'm like, oh yeah, you know what, that would look cute. Let me show them how to do that if they want to. But you can do it certainly backwards. Put your ribbon down first if you know you want to put your lemon slice there, okay? Make it easy on yourself. All right. I'm going to take another one, and I'm going to cut that one because I like the way it looked down there. I'm going to copy that, and we're going to do it on the bottom also. You can always use your scissors or a toothpick or something to tuck it under there if you do it as a hindsight like I did. And it's hot glue. For the most part, it's not super glue, it's hot glue. You can probably pry it up if you really wanted to. This is such a cute little wreath, and you could definitely do it on a larger scale. I show you how to do these smaller things for a couple of reasons. One reason is because it is fairly inexpensive to make these, and you usually have scraps that you can use on other projects, so you can get more than one project out of it. Another reason is they don't take up a lot of space. So if you have an apartment, a dorm, a small house, you live in a residential home or in a nursing home, or you're doing this for someone who lives in an assisted living facility, this is a really small, easy little bit of happiness and sunshine that you can send to them. We can't keep everything we make, right? And it's nice to make somebody else feel good and lift somebody else up. And these little things, I think they can do that. Look how bright. How can you look at this and not go, oh, look how cute, right? Somebody else would think the same thing. You could take this to your grandmother, to your aunt, to someone that's in the nursing home today when you finish it. And the arrangement. And then they would have two cute little pieces to decorate their home for spring. I hope y'all like this one. It was easy. But, feel free to do it on a larger scale. You can definitely do that. I'm still having issues with the lighting in my room, y'all, so I know that these look like oranges or grapefruit, but they are not. I'm still working on it. Still working on the lighting. But you get the picture. Put it on a wreath hanger. That's all you need to do. The next one is a bicycle charm. Not a charm for your bicycle, though. Don't get it twisted. Okay, so this came from Dollar Tree. This is a wreath charm. I've got some ribbon. Of course, some more ribbon. And here is the ribbon we didn't use on the other one. Scraps. We're going to use a little bit of heat to take off this tag on the back. You certainly don't have to. You can still leave it on there for this if you want, but there's something so satisfying about peeling off a label in one piece that I just feel like I need to share it with people. It's the small things, people. It's the small things. I'm not a picky girl. Not at all. Okay. So now we have a nice clean back. I am going to take about 18 inches of ribbon here. And y'all bear with me. We're going to talk about what we're going to do with this in a minute, but just bear with me. Trust me. So we've cut it off at the 18-inch mark. I'm going to fold it over where I think I have about maybe 2 inches in the back. And on the bottom, we're going to dovetail. Now, I'm going to take a ring, and this is just a curtain ring. It's something I thrifted. You can even get a shower curtain ring if you want to. It can be plastic. It doesn't have to be wood. Totally can be whatever you've got. Recycle something you already have. I'm going to fold this over and then wrap it over this ring. Now, the reason I fold it over or almost box pleat it is because if you don't, it's just going to be kind of wrinkled up and not finished looking. So if you do it this way, it gives it a little bit more of a finished look. And I will press it into glue and push it down. And also, it doesn't have to be in the center. I'm going to take that little metal ring off the top, so don't worry about that. I don't need it for anything. So I'm just going to unscrew it and put it in the bowl of tool pieces that I save for random projects. Now we start thinking about how we want to embellish it. So I'm going to grab up a few pieces of the greenery and put it maybe close to halfway down. I can connect those together with a little bit of this zip tie piece, and if you want to use pipe cleaners or something, you can do that. I even save little bits and pieces of pipe cleaners. If it's enough that I can wrap it around something, you can save that and use it again. I used to say waste not, want not, but then I became a pack rat. So you got to learn to let some things go. All right, I'm going to add some glue to hold this in place. And yes, I'm adding quite a bit of glue here. I don't want to glue it to my table, so I'm putting my metal cheese knife under there to hold it up until the glue is cool. Do not stick your finger in the glue. Okay, now I know that I want to put this piece on here, and I'm trying to get my positioning. So before I glue anything, I like to figure it out, lay it down there and see what it's going to look like. I like it there, so I'm going to put it down there. And I want to make sure also that I am leaving enough space above it so that I can add something in that section as well. Press it down, let it cool. I did not glue it to the table. I'm almost at the end of my ribbon here. We are going to be cutting these ribbon pieces in sections, and I'm going to make, I think, what was that, 6 inches? Look at the ruler. I'm not wearing my glasses when I edit. And then the next section is going to be 1 inch shorter than those two. So I'll cut 2 of the bigger ribbon, 2 of the medium size ribbons, and then 2 of the small ribbons. I like to use a variety of sizes and a variety of textures. When you are doing one of these stacked bows, it's important to, if you want to get the look that I'm getting, okay? There's no perfect way to do it. Everybody does their own thing. But when you're creating these, it's nice to put the thicker ones toward the back, because if you put them in the front, you'll never see the smaller ribbons, if that makes sense. You got it? Okay, so now I'm just going to cut these at a slant. You could dovetail the smaller ones if you want to. It's totally up to you. But the medium size one, definitely going to dovetail those two. Are y'all feeling good about these projects? Are you feeling like you can do these projects? Because I'm feeling like you can definitely do them. You inspired me to do them because your comments and your sweetness and your support are so bright and cheery to me, and reading through the comments and all the support that you give me and all the love that you give each other. My people are so good. I love my viewers. You're going in the comments, you're reading other people's comments. You are commenting on their comments. You're responding to them. You're building a community, and I love that. I love that. Yeah, I have the best job in the whole wide world because I've got a place that I try to keep safe for everybody, and to be inclusive for everybody, and to be loving for everybody. And you pray for each other, and you talk to each other, and you lift each other up, and you know each other by name, and it is just amazing. It's amazing. You guys are amazing. And for my Southern folks, y'all are awesome. Okay, so now you've seen how I made that so darn simple. You can't even really call it a bow, I guess. Very easy. And I just tied it off with some jute. And then one more time for the people in the back. The wider one on the bottom, the next one, and the shortest one on top. Stack, pinch toward the center. And then you're going to put the jute on, flip it over. I always try to use my thumb to hold things in place while I pull my rope or jute or whatever it is I'm using to fix it together in the back. Double knot so nothing slips out. And then you can trim off your excess. Also, if you do this with a thinner piece of ribbon, you could always leave it on there if you wanted to. Gonna make sure that I got those in the right position. And then we'll have one for here too. Now, if you're looking at this thing going, what in the world are you going to do with this charm? I'm going to show you 3 different ways you can use this charm. I called it a bicycle charm because of the bicycle that is on the charm. Quite clearly, this would probably be a safety issue if you hung this off your bicycle. We don't want anything getting caught in the wheels or the brakes or the chain. But you can hang this off of a bottle. You can hang it off of a lamp, a doorknob. You could hang this off of your hook on your door. If you have double doors, you could do 2 of these. Totally up to you. You could hang this off of a cabinet in your kitchen. It's up to you. It's up to you how you use it. Use your imagination. In fact, if you're going to make one of these, how are you going to use yours? Why don't you share it in the comment section with everybody else? How are you going to be creative? I want to see, because I know how artistic and creative y'all are, and that you like to share with one another. I want to see what you would do with yours. Okay, so now I'm just going to take a little half pearl, and I'm going to put it right over that hole. You can also fill that with a little bit of that lightweight spackling from Dollar Tree if you want to, and paint over it if you wanted. Totally fine to do it that way or leave it. And then I've got these tiny little butterflies that I bought from TEMU, and they're glass. And I am just using those to embellish here and there as a little extra something. If you want the link, just let me know and I'll get that for you. And then this is how this one is going to look. You could even use this really on a pretty bottle if you have a bottle that you like. Wine bottle collection or old bottles, you could hang off that. And you could tie it around anything. I love making charms. So if you want to hang it off of your door, this is how it would look. And here it is. If I just have it hanging here on my work space. So you could actually use it in a basket. Just another idea. Or you could use it as a wreath charm. Obviously, there's nothing on this wood wreath, but you know, just to give you an idea. I appreciate you so much. Check out the rectangle next. I'll see you soon. Bye.